Welcome to the 3 people in the chat. D Little, welcome, babe. I appreciate your energy. Can y'all believe that I'm on time? I'm actually not, but like I think I rescheduled this maybe twice. Okay, so for me that's good. Okay, I'm doing better in this timeline. But you know, y'all know, for me, this reality and these timelines and this reality, me and this reality just do not mix very well as far as, you know, your timelines and things go. Okay, Lester Diamond and whoever else has joined us in the chat, welcome. Peace and love right back to you. I do hope that you guys can feel it. I'm still, you know, like I said, I rescheduled the live to start right now at 5:30. And I'm like, okay, even though I rescheduled it, I'm gonna count this as me being on time. Okay. Miss Self-Made Chrissy, welcome, babe. So it's good to reconnect with you know, what am I on YouTube? That's how many different realities that I be going into, y'all. I'm so serious. But seriously, you know, you guys know that I've been working on some projects and stuff, you know, and some other things outside of YouTube. And so, you know, it's good to be back for a moment. And I do have some things written down that I wrote down from downloads. And then, of course, is anytime you see that when I go live and I have my picture up here and I'm not actually camming up and I'm not on the camera, I'm most likely going to be channeling as well. Now, not that when I'm on camera that doesn't happen too. It does. It even happens when I'm driving. Okay. So I don't really like to, you know, I'm trying to really eliminate words like channel and things like that, because I want to eliminate the illusion of separation as far as, you know, your physical being separate from you as a spirit. Okay. We do know that the spirit is our true identity. Okay. And so we need to really be integrating these things so that it's all one. You know what I'm saying? And you realize that I am a spirit having a physical experience, and, you know, not identifying with the body as the self. That's what a narcissist does. Okay. Grandmaster Fee, welcome to the chat, babe. Good to see you. Or shall I say, good to feel you. Okay. This is what I do. So, you know, it's, you know, like I said, I've been doing some other things, you know, moving around but, you know, I've kept my eye on everything that's happening, and there's so much going on. Okay. But, you know, first and foremost, I want you, you know, to remind you guys, you know, we all knew, or I knew, and I told y'all that this was coming, and that This is the time of change, and I talk about it a lot, and I'm going to continue to talk about it, okay? Because we're in it right now. But I told you guys about this, it's been at least a couple of years ago. I started talking about it on my first channel. It was a dream that I had over 20 years ago about what's happening right now on the planet, okay? And so it is the time of change. The number 5 is going to be very significant. The triple fives, if you're seeing them, very significant. Butterflies, very significant. If you want, if you're not familiar with my dream about the time of change, I did retell the dream in lesson 5 of Dissecting the Devil, okay, which is a playlist that you can find on this channel if you're not familiar with it. Okay, so the title of the video, can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm using a different microphone, and so I hope I'm not too loud, or I don't know what it's sounding like. So let me know if everything's good on your end. But so I titled the video "Thy Kingdom Come," because that's what's happening, okay? And in my dream about the time of change, and I know for a lot of people, depending upon where you are on your own personal spiritual path journey, you may be aware of the kingdom coming, okay, and you may or may not be aware of it. We're all having an individual experience together, okay? Thank you Lester Diamond, for letting me know about the sound. So okay, shout out to those in the bushes. So anyway, my wrench gang, y'all know I love y'all to death. I appreciate you guys. And for those of you who are a part of the private No Narc network, if I don't already have your shipping information, please get that to me ASAP, okay, so I can get your No Narc network mugs out to you guys, okay, because we will be sipping some tea as we move, deeper into 2021 together in the private No Narc network, okay. The link to that will be in the description once this video is done. If you can't see it already, I don't know what it looks like when I'm live, but it's also scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Okay, so basically, you guys, I know that a lot is going. It's a lot going on. Like I said, in my dream about the time of change, I'm just going to read. I'm not retelling the dream, but like at the beginning, I noticed that most of the people that I was working with, my co-workers, were being possessed. Okay, we're getting possessed by going into this little meeting that the boss was claiming that he was having. That was the meeting was supposedly something that was happening for the whole company, and yet he was calling people in one by one to have a little meeting with him. And so, me being very observant, I'm not, first of all, I'm questioning, like, okay, if it's a meeting about the company, why is there not one big meeting? Why is people, why is everyone going in one by one? And so I started to pay attention when they would come out of the office, okay? And I started to pay attention to what was going on while they were in there as well, okay? So while they were in the office with him, he was saying things about the company, okay? Because I was listening, I'm clairaudient. My ears, I hear everything, okay? When I decide that I want to tune in to something, you know what I'm saying? It's like a radar, you know what I'm saying? You focus on what you're trying to hear or what you're trying to see, and it becomes a laser beam focus, right? So anyway, I'm like, something is not right about this. I mean, I've always been very intuitive anyway. And I'm like, something's not right. If this was a thing about the company, why is it just not one company wide meeting? Why is he calling people in here one by one? And my desk, because I was his assistant or something, I was something very close to him, to where I sat very close to the office and could see and hear into the office. And so I started paying attention. And he was saying stuff about the company, but in between, he was slipping in these little Latin words that, I didn't know what they meant at the time. But it was what I was noticing was that the Latin words that were coming in between the words were coming from a whole nother voice. It was like an undertone, like this devilish undertone that I could hear. But the people that were in there and having the meeting, they only heard what was on the surface. They only heard the things that he was saying about the company. They didn't hear what was being encoded like, you know, between the lines. They weren't hearing what I could hear. Okay. And I was like, oh, hell to the no, I'm not going in there. I knew something wasn't right. And so immediately I was, you know, planning my exit, right? I'm like, I ain't going in there, because people, because I noticed that after they would go in there and listen to this, when they would come out of the office, in, they had that spirit up in them and they didn't even know it. It was like that undertone. It was in their voice. Now I could see it in their spirit. Okay. And, but they didn't know it. They thought they were still normal. They thought when they came out of the office that they were the same. And I was like, oh, hell nah. So, you know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not going in there. Right. So I didn't mean to retell the whole dream, but it needs to be told. Okay. So I was going to leave. I'm like, I'm getting my stuff. I'm about to find some excuse to get out of here. And as I was getting ready to try to leave, there was a security guard. And the reason I'm saying this is because all of these things are significant. Okay. And if anything in this dream stands out to you, you know what I'm saying? Please let me know, because this was a prophetic dream. Okay. And a lot of you have had prophetic dreams, and I've had people come to me who have had similar dreams. Okay. Because there's messages in there for you. And for what's going to happen. Okay. And this is why if you have been forewarned, then you've been able to remain a lot calmer in the midst of everything that's going on, because you already was shown. I was shown the beginning and the end, but I wasn't shown the middle. Okay. And now I understand why I wasn't shown the middle. Basically, I wasn't shown the actual war, which is what it is, spiritual warfare, which is manifesting in a lot of ways in the physical. But the spiritual, the warfare is spiritual. Okay. And the battlefield is the mind. Okay. The human mind. Okay. Who's going to control it? Okay. Who are you serving right now? Because right now you cannot be sitting on the fence, which I did for a long time. Okay. Because I could. And because I, you know, by nature, I have always had a rebellious spirit, and I say I do what I want to do. And I still do. You know what I'm saying? But in having a rebellious spirit, you cause yourself a lot of pain. You cause yourself a lot of delays. You cause yourself a lot of unnecessary trials and tribulation. Okay. So, you know, this is what I have done. You know, my rebellious spirit. I'm just naturally, you know, I feel like I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. And I think that most people that call themselves a witch, which I no longer do. Okay. But most people who call themselves a witch, they have a rebellious spirit. Okay. And this is why, you know what I'm saying? This is why. It's because we feel like, you know, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. And you don't really acknowledge, you do it, you know that there is a higher power, because this is where you're drawing your power from. Okay. Unless you're not. Okay. But you know, because I always and I don't want to keep changing subjects, but I always wondered about that scripture. Like, is this true or not? Like, did man say this, or did God say, do not suffer a witch to live? And what does it mean? Okay. Because, you know, I don't need to call myself a witch to use my power. And I no longer want to be associated with being a witch. Okay. For one, just all of the connotations that it comes with people, when the truth is that I'm a healer. The truth is that I work the light. Okay. That I'm a light worker. And so, yes, I can go into the darkness. I can go into the deepest of the darkness. Okay. Because I bring light. Okay. And so, but I'm not welcomed in the dark. You know what I'm saying? The darkness don't like me. Okay. So, but anyway, let me get back on the subject. So anyway, good. Yes. Oh yes. D Little. Yes, baby. We are definitely aligned. And that's what's happening. You have to choose a side, honey. Okay. The wheat and the tares. Okay. You have to choose a side at this time, because the war is in full swing. Okay. So who you working for? Okay. Cause that's the question. So I was not shown the middle of the war, because of, you know, for several reasons. But one of the reasons was because so that I wouldn't give up. I was shown the beginning and the end. Okay. I was shown the end so that I wouldn't give up in the middle, because, you know, it is a real war. Okay. It's like you know, you take blows, you get hit, you fall down, you lose things. There are casualties. Okay. In war. Okay. It's not something that you take lightly. And so I was not shown the middle, so that I was shown the beginning and the end, so that I wouldn't give up in the middle. Okay. And so I guess this is why I'm sharing it with you, so that you don't give up, because I've seen the end. Okay. And so this is why I've been able again to remain so calm during this war. Okay. And it's in full swing right now. I mean, basically what you guys are witnessing and going on in the government and everywhere else, personally in your lives and everything else is the literal matrix has broken apart. It's broken. Okay. It's done with. Okay. It is withering away and it's gone. Okay. The matrix has broken. Okay, so this is official. And so the new level that so basically the Matrix was like, what's his name that got banned from everything because he was telling too much truth and probably was going a little crazy too because of it. I forget, he called it the prison planet. Okay, somebody remind me, Alex Jones, right? So yeah, so Alex Jones was telling too much truth, and too much truth in a reality that's based on lies will make you appear to seem insane, crazy. So many people who have been gifted and received downloads from the divine, and from their cosmic relatives and all of this, and who have tried to share, especially in the past, were deemed quote unquote crazy and put in insane asylums. And, because you are in this world, but you are not of it. And so you try to share all the worlds that you are of with this one, and the people in this world, their minds are so small and so captured by the enemy. Okay, that, you know what I'm saying? They just really don't have that. This is why, spiritual people speak of having ears to hear and eyes to see, because you can have ears and you can have eyes and still be blind and deaf, honey. Okay. And so, just think about that, because that's what most people that walk around here, that's what they are. Most people are those people that I saw in my dream getting possessed by the quote unquote boss. Now, I didn't say all the details of the dream. If you really want to know, go back and watch episode 5 of Dissecting the Devil, because there are some details in there as far as, who the boss was, what type of person that this person was that was possessing people, what they looked like, what they dressed like, okay, what they acted like, because it's all happening right now. Okay. Pay attention, my people. So, right. So again, the Matrix, because see, I used to be able to see it. There was, there's periods in our times when we're like, our eyes are more open than others, and we're more, more inclined to our spiritual side than others. Okay. And these were times like when I was pregnant or had just had a baby or something significant was happening in my life, and my spiritual eyes were just wide open and I could see everything. And I would always be able, it was like my eyes would flick back and forth between these realities. It was like, so they would flick back and forth. And when they would flick, I could see, I would say, why is there a cage around everything? I could see the cage. It was like, that's what the Matrix literally looked like, a cage, like, like a cage. I mean, it was like literally like a cage around the earth, and I could see it. Okay. Because the cage, it didn't just, in case it wasn't, it didn't just go around like the perimeter of the earth. It was like a cage that was like all up and through it. I can't explain it. It was, well, you can. Okay. I'm seeing it and I'm being shown like a graph. Okay. But just picture like a 3D graph that you would use that's in 3D. Okay. That's what this reality is encased in. Okay. Because time is encased in a matrix that was created of time and space. Okay. And time and space are the same thing. Okay. Space is time illustrated or demonstrated. Okay. They're the same thing. And this is what this cage, this matrix was made of. And this is why I'm realizing right now, this is why it's so hard for me to stay on time in this reality, because this time is an illusion. Like time doesn't exist. Okay. But it is what had y'all trapped though. Okay. If you've seen yourself as victorious in the yes, then you know what to do. Exactly. Oh, my girl. Oh, okay, D Little. I can't even tell you, but I'm gonna go live in the group tonight too. Okay, our NARC talk tonight, and we're gonna talk more about that, because I literally, have had been activated like while driving to just activate other people to literally speak directly to some people's spirit to tell them to wake up, to fight. Okay, I've been used as an instrument in so many ways during this war. Okay, but anyway, so now that the matrix, that cage that I used to see, it's broken. It's not holding the earth in no spot no more, right? This is why we're able to now ascend and begin to move into the higher realms, because we're no longer a prison planet. Shout out to Alex Jones. Okay. So we now are beginning to ascend as a planet. Okay. And so for some people that feels like chaos, because they were so comfortable in the matrix. They were so comfortable with the scales being imbalanced. Okay. And so now we're moving into a higher energy frequency and vibration, a frequency of freedom. Okay. And I know, like I said, those of you who are heart-centered, you feel this. And for those of you who are not, you don't, period. Okay. Not saying that you can't, you know, no matter where you are, you can always move into this space. Okay. But, you know, some people are here and some are not, period. And it's apparent to see. It's, you know, you can just look, you know what I'm saying? Just look. So, you know, we're moving into this energy, this frequency, this vibe of freedom. Freedom is the experience of being physical, yet free from physical limitations, the limitations that you used to have in the physical experience, because again, that cage, that matrix has broken. Okay. So in the past, all the masters that ascended, okay, and if you want to use Jesus because that's all you believe in, then, you know, but Jesus is real, okay, but there are other masters, ascended masters, and if you really know Jesus, ask, and he'll tell you, okay. But in the past, all the ascended masters, okay, that have had to, you know, that have ascended from this matrix, they have had to become non-physical in order to achieve that ascension. They had to ascend beyond this earth because it was a quote unquote prison planet, stuck, okay, in this matrix built of time and space. Okay, but this time, see, this is a very monumental time it was written of. Okay, the age of awakening, the age of Aquarius, the era of love. Okay, this what we're moving into. You know, and the time that we're bringing ourselves this time as we ascend. We're bringing the body along. We're bringing Mother Earth along, or Mother Earth is bringing us along. Okay. Yes. Yes. D little. If you are plugged in, you feel it every day, every moment of every day. I know. And so, you know, it's been hard for me to stay away because I feel each and every one of you that I am connected to. And, you know, for those of you who have not been seeing me on YouTube, but those of you that I am connected to, you know, we have been in touch. You know what I'm saying? I keep in touch with my people, even if the people that, you know, I'm not intimately connected to, even though you don't see me on YouTube, I do reach out to those to whom I am intimately connected to. Okay. So it's not like you guys haven't, you know, we have been in touch. But, you know, in the past, they had to ascend out basically to leave the physical body behind on this earth, because as we know, our physical bodies are part of this earth. OK, this is why we call Mother Earth, because she is our mother. As far as the body, your body, your physical body was made of this earth. OK, and so that's the connection. And so in the past, the masters who were going to ascend into a higher spiritual realm had to leave the body behind. Okay, this time Mother is ascending with us. Okay, so that's what's so monumental about this time. Okay, is that it's a spiritual ascension that's happening while we are with the physical body. Okay, so you're not going to have to keep reminding yourself that I am a spirit having a physical experience, but you're not going to be able to ignore it. A homeless man told me if I opened my eyes, I could see reality for what it is. Dude, was deep. Let me tell you, Lester, now you done took me off to something that what you just said just literally opened my crown. Okay, because it was something that I was going to talk to you guys about. I was going to tell y'all about anyway. And so since you brought this up, and I can always go back to what where I was, but speaking of, you know, your eyes being open and not being all the way open and stuff. Okay, because I've been thinking a lot about this when I was in church. And I didn't realize that, you know, I was in a church that I'm not even gonna speak too much about it, but that church, I don't feel that. I don't really want to judge people, because I feel like some of the people in that church did feel like that they were serving a compassionate creator. But at the end of the day, that church belonged to the devil. Okay. And I didn't know it when I first went in. My intuition has always been on point, but I didn't because I was sent there. And I knew I was there for a reason. So in the beginning, I wasn't shown what was actually going on, because I was supposed to be there. And if I was shown what was going on, I probably wouldn't have stayed. Okay. So that's the reason why a lot of you, because what I want to speak about is the veil. Okay. That a lot of you, because we all, a lot of people talk about being born with a veil. Okay. And I was born with one. And I've always, heard this. My family talks about it and all of this, and, but I never really fully had a full understanding of like, what does that mean? I knew that I was different. I know that I can see and hear things that other people can't see and hear and all of that. Okay. But how does that mean that I have a veil? To me, that meant that y'all got a veil, because I you know what I'm saying? That's what I felt like. Okay. But I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks ago, and she kind of broke this down to me, and it was God. And this is why, you guys, your ears have to really be open, because God will use anyone to speak some truth to you that you need to hear in the moment. And because I was basically, we were talking about when I was in church, and how I didn't realize at the time that a lot of the women that I did know that, certain, like there was this one woman in particular, and I think she was the one that was attacking me the most. I always knew that whenever it was something about me that that triggered her insecurities. Okay. And I never understood why, because you know what I'm saying? It's just, whatever other people's insecurities are, that is something going on within them. So when somebody is jealous of you and all of that, it's a waste of time to try to figure out why, because it's in their own mind. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay. And so, but anyway, I'm very intuitive. So I always knew that I triggered her insecurities, and I knew I could feel how everybody felt about me. Okay. And so, in the beginning, when I first went to this church, they were all very, very attracted to me, because I walked in and I had my soul intact. Okay. And most of them, they didn't. I was like, these were the emptiest Black folks that I had ever been around in my life. Like, because, when you are an empath, you feel, this is how you connect with people. You connect, you know what I'm saying, with the soul part of a person, with the spirit. And these people, I was like, where the hell is these people's souls at? Where are their spirits? They were empty. Okay. Y'all, people say, you can't sell your soul. I don't know whether this is true or not, but I know that these people were empty, the emptiest Black folks that I have ever been around in my life. But yet they had a lot of things, though. They were wealthy. They had money. Okay. So put two and two together, It's a lot more that I can say about things that I experienced and saw in that church that I will talk to my private group about, because we're going to start hanging out a lot more, you guys. So like I said, if you haven't given me your stuff, give it, because I'm trying to get your mugs out. We're going to be connecting and sipping our tea, and I got so much to share with you guys. But anyway, when I was in that church, you know what I'm saying? I had gotten really sick, because I knew it was a lot of women in that church that didn't like me for whatever reason. Okay. I am a very humble person. Okay. But I am very confident. Okay. And people don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle that. So, I know that I have gifts. I know I'm not like, I know I'm not ordinary. I don't feel ordinary, but do I think that I'm better than anybody? No, we're just different. Okay. And I've never, acted nothing. It's just that when you are secure and other people are insecure, you just automatically present a threat to them. It's like, when a person is insecure with themselves, of course, they're not admitting that to themselves. But when someone who is secure enters the building, that person who is insecure, what they're going to feel is that they don't like that person. They don't even know you. Okay. But they feel like, I don't like that bitch. You're a bitch. They know what you think. They think that you cute, and you think you know everything. They think they know what you're thinking, because it's what they're thinking. Okay. I told y'all, a narc is inside out, upside down, and backwards. And most of the people in this reality are narcissists. Okay. So this, if you were born with a veil, if you're a light worker, if you're filled with light, you have figured this out by now. Okay. And so this is why you have always been under attack, but always been have attracted these people who need healing. They are attracted to you, but they're very damaged, so damaged that they can't even receive the healing. Okay. They come in fighting you and trying to hurt you and trying, it's like some people you just have to have to let them go. Like when we, at the end of my dream, when we were rising from the planet, there was a lot of people still earthbound and on it because they couldn't get off, because they were attached to it by the things that they love so much, that they're working so hard to obtain. See, all of those things are connected to this earth. Okay, this old earth that we're leaving behind, okay, for a new one. And so people who are very materialistic and very connected to their physical being, those are the people who were stuck to this earth because they couldn't get off. And I remember looking down on it, and the earth looked like a red hot coal. It was burning from the inside out. There was nowhere you could go on this earth to get away from that fire. And y'all know it's coming. It's coming. Okay. And so as we were rising up, for some reason, like I said, this dream was over 20 years ago when I had it. And so I'm looking at it, and I was curiously unattached, because being an empath, you cannot stand to see people suffer no matter what. And these people were suffering, and I wasn't feeling nothing for them, which was very, peculiar to me. I was feeling nothing for watching these people suffer, and we was leaving. And I zeroed in, like I zoomed in on this one little man that was on a motorcycle going around in a circle. I will never forget that part, because that part God wanted me to pay very close attention to, because at that time I wasn't thinking about no narcissist. I didn't know, I wasn't using the word narcissist. I had been around them my whole life, but had not put a lot of things together yet. So I wasn't thinking about this motorcycle and this cycle and this man on this cycle. And now it took years, for this dream to unfold and be decoded and things, and it's still unfolding. But, now I understand what the cycle was. It was the cycle of hypnotic rhythm. It was the narcissist. It was what I came here to do. You know what I'm saying? As far as, what I came here to educate people about, what my target demographic was. Okay. That narcissist that's stuck in these cycles of hypnotic rhythm, going around and around in circles, doing the same thing, which we know is insanity. I used to think it was always my fault. I went through a lot of adversity. So people in their insecurities, family members. Yeah, no, it's not you, it's us. And see, most people who were born, another thing about empaths, D Little, is that if you're empathic in this world, okay, first of all, because see, the thing that I don't want to keep changing subjects, okay, the veil. Let me say about the veil, okay. I never really understood why I had a veil, but I could see more than they can see. So why do they call it a veil for me, right? But one thing that I did notice for me, and I don't know what this is for everyone else, but like I said, I was talking to my friend, and we were talking about, how. Because I was talking about how I had just gone through my spiritual awakening by being, betrayed by someone, and knowing all my life that this was going to happen. Like I came into this world knowing that someone I loved with all of my heart was going to betray me. I always knew it my whole life, just like Jesus knew, you know what I'm saying? And so, so anyway, my phone rang, just threw me off. So we were talking about that, but then I was also talking about how I've never gone through. Oh, I hate when somebody just keeps, that's disrespectful. If I ain't answered the first time, don't keep doing that. Okay. So, okay. So anyway, I was talking about how I've never gone through I would say most women and even men that I've known, most that I know. Okay. I would say 98, 97, 98% of everyone, especially women that I know, have suffered some form of sexual abuse, assault, rape, something of that nature. Okay. Because, I ask very deep questions of this world, and why is this so prevalent, and why, it seems like it's just the norm. Like you can meet anybody you meet, and they've been sexually abused at some point in their lives. Okay. It seems like it's everybody, but that never happened to me in my life. Okay. Not saying I haven't gone through stuff. I've gone through things just as, I wouldn't say, I don't like to compare tragedies in people's lives or whatever, that's something that a narcissist does, but I've gone through my own things. But that's one thing that I haven't gone through, that it seems like everybody in the world has dealt with this. And why is this so prevalent? Right. And so I was talking to my friend about it, and I was talking about how, really I hadn't, I didn't really understand the deepest nature of evil until somebody that I loved betrayed me the way that I just recently got betrayed, okay, within these past 15 months, okay? And so I didn't understand that level of evil. I didn't know that a person could be that heartless and that cold and that damn godless. I didn't know, right? But I did know that there are children that got molested at 3 years old. There's babies that as soon as they were born, people were putting cigarettes out on them and hurting them, right? So they were exposed to that evil. They knew of this part of, like, because if you're an empath, you have angelic bloodline. All you know is love. You know God. You know healing. This is all you want to do, right? And so you didn't even know of the knowledge of when they talk about Adam and Eve biting that apple and bringing upon yourself the darkness and that knowledge of good and evil. Okay, a lot of empaths, that veil that you have, that was veiling you from a lot of this evil that was in the world. So this is why, like, I would say every friend that I have, and damn near probably every family member and everybody else, has had certain things happen to them that didn't happen to me. And that doesn't mean that I'm more blessed or any of that, okay? It just meant that that veil was keeping me from seeing a lot of things for a long time, okay? And so going back to what I was talking about in church, when I was in church, these women didn't like me, and I didn't realize that they were witches, and they were serving a whole nother level of magic, okay, at that time. And so I didn't realize that I was under spiritual attack when I had gotten really sick one time, right? But again, my spirit still has always shown me things. So when I just thought I was sick. I didn't know that I was under attack. I didn't realize it until later, right? And so I'm thinking I'm sick, but I knew that this was something, it was so unusual. It was very bizarre. Like, it wasn't no normal illness that I was having. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a spiritual attack. Like, I was so sick I couldn't get up off my couch. Okay. I was seeing this little man dancing around in my head. I literally could see a little man dancing around inside my head. My equilibrium was off. Like, I couldn't even move across the room without feeling like, the equilibrium was off. So if I stood up, I was going to fall. That's how sick I was. Okay. Until I realized what was going on. But at the time when I was sick, I prayed, of course, my spirits were close to me and they showed me things, right? And so while I was sleeping during this attack, I had a dream that I was running. I was running through my apartment that I was in at that time, and I was running from something, which was whatever they was trying to send after me. And in the dream, I was running from it, and I had ran into my back bathroom, okay? And in the bathroom that was in my bedroom, you know what I'm saying? I had ran back there, and I didn't even know what I knew I was running from something. It was like Bird Box. You couldn't see it, but I knew it was like a spirit that I was running from. And I ran in the back bathroom, and when I tried to look up at it, because I ran in my bathroom, when I tried to look up at whatever it was, I couldn't see anything, right? And it was like my eyes were like half, like if you only open your eyes halfway open, and so you keep like the shutter down half over your eyes, and so you only see half of the picture. That's what my vision was like in my dream, right? When I tried to look up at whatever the spirit was chasing me, right? And so that was weird. Okay, in my dream, I could only see half of the picture. And I knew that God was telling me there's a lot that you don't see. You only see half of the picture. Okay. That was the veil. And so, but I wasn't understanding all of this at the time. I understood at the time that God was letting me know that there's a lot going on that you can't see. I knew that, okay, because I could only half see in the dream. But what was so bizarre and weird, okay, was that I was sleeping, okay, and I was dreaming, and in the dream I could half see. And then when I woke up, because when I looked up and I could only half see, it startled me in the dream, and it woke me up in real life. And when I woke up in real life and I opened my eyes, my blanket or my comforter was like covering my eyes in the exact same way that whatever had been covering my eyes in the dream, okay, as a veil. So when I opened my eyes, my vision of reality was the same as what it was in the dream. I was only half seeing reality, which was so damn bizarre, because like I said, I'm dreaming that I can only half see. So why is it that when I open my eyes in real reality, in real life, I only half see, even though it is just my blanket covering my eyes? That is bizarre. How did when I was asleep, how did my eyes know that the blanket was covering my eyes? It was like the same. So basically God was letting me know you have a veil over your eyes. There's a lot going on that you don't see. Okay, so now I understand the veil. Okay. And so that's what the veil is. It's not that you can't see, but it's like you're shielded from a level of evil until you're, I guess, ready to do your job or able to see it. Because like I said, I was not raped or molested or any of that. Okay. I had a very strong, and I don't blame people's mothers that if that happened to them, but I know that for a lot of people, it was a mama's fault because wasn't paying no damn attention. Maybe they wasn't aware of good and evil. Maybe they were so selfish that they was focused on their own pleasures and their own desires and their own wants and needs, whatever it is. I get angry every time I think about it, because everybody that I know who has been molested, if their mother or parents had been paying attention, it wouldn't have happened, right? Sometimes it was their parent that did it. It was the other parent. It was the dad. But if you'd had a stronger mother, okay, this is why I appreciate my mother so much, because I feel like she was the veil. She protected me. Like I knew. You know what I'm saying? That's why nobody was ever able to hurt me. My mama kept her eye on me. She watched me. You know what I'm saying? She watched my behavior. She watched everything. Okay. Very intuitive, very protective. And I feel that, you know what I'm saying? It saved my life. And I feel like if a lot of other people's mamas had been stronger, it wouldn't have happened to them. Okay. But the whole point was that the veil. Okay. And it's not only about sexual abuse. It's about abuse of all kinds, that things that have happened to people at because like I said, I've been exposed to things. I know about bad people and bad things and all of that. But I was sheltered from actually experiencing it firsthand for a long time in my life until, like I said, I experienced this godless narcissist who I was in a relationship with. Okay, so for a long time in my life, I was veiled when I think about how a child at only 3 years old, one of my friends, she was 3 years old when her father started molesting her. And ain't no way in hell you gonna tell me that your mama didn't know that. And y'all all live in the same house. Okay, and it has happened throughout their whole entire family. Like her father and all his brothers molest all their daughters. Okay, so, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but anyway, just to imagine. And I know that it's happened to some of you, and even at a younger age. Okay. And so that's a level of evil that I had never been exposed to. Okay. By the grace of God, I was protected from, veiled from, did not know, because you can say I knew people who had been molested. I know what being molested is, but you don't know something until you've actually experienced it. Okay. You don't know evil until you have experienced it. You don't know God until you've experienced God. Okay. You don't know love until you have experienced that. You can talk all day about whatever. Okay. You don't know anything until you have experienced it. Okay. And that is what I did. I had not. Okay. I did not know that people could be completely empty of God. I had been veiled from that for a long time in my life. Okay. And I'm grateful for that veil. Okay, because see, God knows who I am as a spirit. Like as a spirit, it's things that I see that happen in this world right now that hurt my soul, because I got the same heart that God got. Okay, and a lot of things that y'all do on this earth in this reality, God does not like it. It hurts God. God grieves. This is why Jesus wept. Okay, because this reality right here equates to hell, especially for someone who is empathic, who has angelic bloodline. Okay. And even, there's people right here, when they hear you say that, it triggers the narc in them. Oh, this bitch thinks she an angel. I mean, this reality is pure hell to someone who has a loving heart. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. This is hell. The hell that they be talking about, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible and all of that. This is it right here. This is it. This is why everyone around you, if you are empathic, if you have a loving heart, this is why everyone around you seems to be so damn cold hearted. So you be wondering, like, what happened to their heart? What happened to your soul? Where is your soul? Why don't you care about other people? How can you be so damn selfish? You know what I'm saying? Why do you move in fear all the time? Why are you so manipulative? Why are you proud of being able to manipulate other people? Because listen, y'all, this is hell. So this is where all the people who have all of those devilish traits, this is where they are. And this is where they're comfortable at. This is where they belong. This is where their asses got sent to. Okay? Prison planet. Now, those of you who have angelic bloodline, you feel like you stuck here with them because you're here on a mission. You came here for whatever. You thought you were so strong that I'm gonna go down into this prison planet with my God force energy, with my love, because I know God's love can heal anything, right? I see this family, and this family needs healing. This bloodline, it needs healing. Let me incarnate into that bloodline. Okay. And so this is why a lot of you who have angelic bloodline, you were born into a demonic family, or a family full of narcissists, people who abused you, who hated you, who made you feel unloved and unwanted, because you went into that family. We see you had a purpose when you were born, and you were born into that specific family because you wanted to heal, but you weren't expecting the damage that they were going to do to you during your mission. Okay. Very powerful like that as well. Literally, I saw my father get murdered by the woman. Yes, this is, yeah, your family. That's exactly, Dimitri. When you understand your power, you learn how to move, differently with it and be very responsible. Okay, two and his best friend was the ones. Yeah, I've seen it happens because you have power, and I'm telling you, the Most High don't play about his own. Do not play about his own. People have hurt me to my soul, and I still be scared. I don't want to see what's about to happen to them because of it, because I know how the Most High feels about me. Okay, I know. And so I was told to look away because of what they've already done. There's nothing I can do about what they've already caused for themselves. Okay, but I don't have to look. I was told to look away. Okay, so when we were rising up off of the planet, in my dream, I didn't have to look away because I had been detached emotionally from everything that was happening. That was hell, and those people, everything that was happening on that planet, that was what was supposed to happen. That was the balancing of the scales. Everybody that was earthbound and stuck, that's where they belonged, honey. We did not want to bring any of that, okay, to the new earth that we were going to. It had a glow around it. Okay, it was so beautiful. It was pristine. It was opulent. It was new, fresh, and untouched. The earth that the meek were already promised to inherit. Okay. And so y'all don't understand how the Creator works in his ways. You know what I'm saying? You think that, you're going to inherit this earth. No, this earth, this earth is really is an illusion. It was created in a matrix made of time and space. This is why you hear people say things like history repeats itself. They believe that because the reason why it repeats itself is because they believe it, right? The devil has trapped y'all, the whole world, in this loop of hypnotic rhythm. Okay, so yes, history has repeated itself. The same patterns of things have happened. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to happen this time. Not this time. Okay, this time we are awake. Enough of us are awake to awaken everyone else. Okay, this time there's too much light for the darkness to hide in. Okay, this is in the devil. His time is up. Period. Okay, you were given your time to do whatever you was going to try to do. Again, this was, there's so many angles that you can look at this from. Okay, but again, it's a battle, a spiritual warfare that's happening. The battlefield is the human mind. Who's going to control it? God or the devil? It's two energies here, y'all. It's only two energies here. Okay, so the reason why I dissected the devil is so that you would be able to recognize devil energy, so that you can detect that and reject that. So you know what side that you're on, so that you're not one of those people who is possessed and don't know it. Because I promise you, there's a lot of y'all out here right now possessed and don't even know it. Okay? Possessed and don't even know it. Okay, so I was getting ready to tell y'all something that Archangel Michael had shown me, but I'll tell that to my private group, because again, you have to move in silence at this time. I told y'all about the butterflies and the snakes and the butterflies, and how some snakes are trying to parade as butterflies to follow the teacher to the treasure. Okay, and so you have to move in silence and shine your light only for those who were meant to see it. Okay. So about the earth ascending out of this matrix, which has officially been broken. This is why you see the insanity happening everywhere. The matrix has officially been broken. Okay. So at this time, The ascension is happening, and you're not ascending beyond the earth, but you're ascending with the earth. Okay. Mother Earth is coming with. Okay. So right now you should be 10 toes down, grounded. Okay. Focused, grounded. Okay. And planted 10 toes down on the earth. Okay. Because we're ascending together with the earth. We're not leaving it. Okay. And so the light workers right now are acting as an accelerator for everyone else. So if you've been feeling drained, if you've been feeling like you've been sleeping more, because I know I've been sleeping and I never sleep, okay? And I've been getting a lot of sleep because I've just literally been drained, because the people who are working the light here, we are basically acting as accelerators, giving everyone else and the earth herself a boost, okay, so that this ascension can happen, okay? So this is why you're tired. This is why you're drained. This is why you're having very lucid dreams, okay? And pay attention to the messages in those dreams. Again, this is a spiritual warfare. It's happening. The war is in full swing right now. So some people are even having dreams of that, dreams of a zombie apocalypse, dreams of a war, because it literally is happening. On a spiritual level, though, some people are waking up with physical wounds and bruises and memories of like what the hell just happened. Waking up with fear. Okay, depending on which, you know, who are you working for? Because it's time that you state that and be very diligent about it. The more that we settle into this new frequency, the more important it is for us to stay heart-centered and grounded, okay? And holding within your mind the vision that was planted in your head of this manifestation of heaven on earth. The vision that I saw in my dream, that new earth that had a glow around it, right? That was the new earth, okay? That's thy kingdom come is pulling heaven down. When you say these prayers, when you say these affirmations, when you say thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, you are using your power to bring heaven down. Okay? So thy kingdom come is what's happening. And so it may look like chaos to the kingdom that thought it was going to stay in place. Okay? But the matrix has officially broken. And so in order for you to do your job as a worker of the light, is to stay centered in your heart, stay grounded. Keep the vision of the heaven that God showed you in your mind, because you know that your mind creates reality. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. You keep creating the reality that you were shown. This is how you will this is how you bring heaven down. This is how the kingdom is coming. The literal manifestation of love on earth, holding a heart-centered vision, okay? And holding that energy within yourself is what causes us to begin building bonds that are built on communication and love, and they replace those codependent relationships and situationships that people had that were based on pain and destruction. Okay, so you know, there's going to be people on every side of the fence, and this fence has more than two sides. I told y'all, when I was able to flick between realities and my eyes could see the matrix, it looked like a graph, like a 3D graph of a whole bunch of little bitty, it looked like a cage that was not just around the earth, but all through it. Okay, we were part of it, stuck in it. Okay, a game, a video game, you know, and a lot of people say that, okay, like it's a simulation. And it is, you know what I'm saying? I was able to see it. So, you know, but basically, you know, there will always be those, even in their ascension, as they, you know, obtain knowledge and spiritual wisdom, there will always be those who will allow their ego to take ownership of that. Any new sense of freedom that they gain, any new knowledge, any increase of anything in any form can trigger the ego. Okay. And so when you see people get more of anything, like I said, I've talked about this, but as a matter of fact, I started off with an ego series, and that's how I started, led into teaching about narcissism, because you know what I'm saying? I started teaching about the ego first. And, you know, basically whenever you see, you know, a person get an increase of anything, like I said, money, followers, whatever they think they got more of, there is that danger of their ego taking ownership of it. Okay. Even if it's, knowledge, even if it's a new sense of freedom. Okay. And so you're going to notice a lot of these people become very egotistical with the knowledge that they have, thinking that they're better than somebody else because they're getting downloads, or, just acting like, yeah, y'all, saying things like, oh, y'all still waiting to shift. I done already shifted. But you don't see, you see, people don't understand that this is why people that actually are comfortable in the darkness, they don't like empaths, because they know we can see straight through whatever little mask or whatever facade that you're trying to put up. They know we see straight through it. We see the truth, and they don't like that, because they don't even like to look at their own truth. Okay. So, a lot of people just pay attention to people. Okay. Because narcs, they always act in the opposite way to what's actually going on. So like if they're deeply insecure, they're going to act overly secure. Okay, they're going to just be overbearing. They're just going to be doing all this extra stuff for attention, when something really, so you can tell when a narc has had an injury, especially those narcissists who are very all narcs are focused physically and all of that, but those who really just base all of their worth and value on their looks, when they've received a narcissistic injury, they're gonna be putting up pictures everywhere, honey. Okay, just say, for instance, if a narc got cheated on, okay, if let's say if I was a narc, okay, when I got cheated on, when I got ghosted, instead of going within and beginning to do the work that I needed to do on myself, and trying to do everything that I needed to do in order to heal, I would have started trying to half dress and putting a million pictures up a day, staying on YouTube 3 and 4 hours at a time, trying to be seen, begging for attention, doing things that's completely out of my character. And this is how a narc knows that they have you, because they control you. And D Little, I know you know what I'm talking about, baby girl. It's so apparent, like when your eyes actually see, because they, like I said, a narc is inside out. They're upside down and backwards. So the things that you think you're doing to cover up your insecurities is actually exposing them to the people who can actually see. Okay. And so, when these people cross your path at this time, because again, the war is in full swing. Okay. When you see these types of people, just send them love and light. Okay. As they cross your path, because remember that these people are possessed. Okay. So they know not what they do. Okay. When they make these reckless decisions, to do all this, things that really it's not a good look. Okay. Or when they do things that are going to hurt other people, doing things that they think is going to advance themselves without the concern for the well-being of other people. Those were the people I saw who were stuck to the planet and burning. Okay. And so these people have yet to understand, the true value of how sacred this time of evolution is for everyone on the planet. Okay. As well as for the earth, for the earth itself. And so they're taking their little evolution or whatever they're getting and using it to be narcissistic and feel like, I'm better than you because, I know something that you don't know. I can do something that you can't do. I have something that you don't have. I'm better than you. Okay. And so those were the people who were stuck because they were literally, attached to the physical, attached to everything that was made from this earthly plane. And so that's why they couldn't get off of it, because they think that they are their body. And so they spend all their time adorning their body with shit, new clothes and makeup and wigs and, things that aren't real. Okay. So, if you haven't already, done so, okay, now is the time, to let go of anything that you still holding on to let go of what was, what could have been, should have been. Okay. So that you can move into this new vibration, so that this new vibe of freedom has room to grow inside you. Okay. And then to begin to create new pathways of new experiences for you, because I know a lot of y'all are tired. You don't realize that you've been going around in hypnotic rhythm. Okay. And so that's why you're tired, because you're going around in circles doing the same thing. You know, I was thinking about it one day when I was in meditation and thinking about, I was actually had started to write a song. Okay. And I'm still writing the song, but you know, I thought the first words that came out were about the seasons, because that's what I was thinking about, how the seasons change, you know, and so it was leaves and rain and snow and sun. Okay. And I'm like, okay, these are the seasons. But then God showed me something deeper, like, you know, and so because these seasons change, you seem to think that something different is happening. It's just like, say that you on a track, right? A track that's just going around in circles, but you think you're going somewhere, but you're really going around in circles. But there's like a tree there, and every time you pass the tree, the leaves on the tree is a different color, so you think you're seeing a different tree, right? So you think you're getting somewhere, you think you're actually going somewhere. Lad, this time the tree was green. Okay, then when I came back around, I just passed the tree, and those leaves had turned yellow. And then when I came back around, that was a brown tree that was there. You know what I'm saying? Now they're red. Okay, but you don't realize that that's the same tree. You know, every season that passes, you still in that same time and space. Okay, that cage. And so the seasons, as far as summer, spring, winter, fall, that is the illusion that makes you content to stay stuck in the same place, because you actually think that you're moving. You actually think that because it's hot, you know, for a few months here, and it's cold for a few months here, and it gets darker here and this and that you're actually going somewhere. But you're actually not. You've actually been stuck in hypnotic rhythm for a long, long time. Prison Planet. Shout out to Alex Jones once again. It's just every time I think about him, because he, you know, I knew he was telling the truth, you know, I knew, but then it also appeared that he was going a little bit crazy, but I felt that, you know, he was under attack, and I just ain't gonna go into too deep of it. Okay. But anyway, you know, the matrix, that matrix that was holding that reality in place, it has officially broken. Okay, so that's why we're moving now. And this, we already knew that this was going to happen. This time was written of, it's been prophesied. I mean, because you wasn't going to be able to hold back evolution forever. Okay, that just wasn't, you know, that wasn't going to be able to happen. And so, you know, the devil already knows that his time is up. And when I talk about the devil, I really want to make this clear to you guys as well, because, you know, a lot of you who, if you're empathic, if you have angelic bloodline, if you came here with, you have a calling on your life, the devil has been attacking you your whole life, okay, through different people. Now, the reason why I did dissecting the devil is so that you understand how the devil operates. When I speak of the devil, you know, it is just one spirit, but it puts up this grand illusion of being many, of being legions, of being, think about in the Matrix. Remember the agents in the Matrix and how they was just multiples of that same one thing. Okay. So that's all it is. It's the devil will put up a grand illusion to make you think that he's bigger than you, that you're the minority, that, you know, there's more of us than you, that I'm big and you're small, when it's a lie. It's an illusion. You got to stare it down. Sometimes you have to become the aggressor. Okay. Which is what I had to do at like 8 years old. God told me, quit letting this devil taunt you from the other end of the hall. Run up on him. Okay. Run up on him and watch what happens. And because by nature, I am a warrior, because by nature, I don't run from what I fear. I aggress towards it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to ain't nothing going to be existing in my world that's going to be causing me fear. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so that's what I do. And so that when I ran up on it, like I said, the thing that I noticed was that he wasn't big, he was small. He turned into a clown first, okay, like one of those little gesture clowns. And then the closer that I got to him, he got more and more translucent and disappeared. And so God was showing me at the age of 8 or 9 that the devil can't even stand in your presence, because the devil is comprised of darkness and you are light. And when you flip on the light in the presence of darkness, the darkness disappears. It doesn't exist. So basically all this grand illusion, because that's why the illusion is so grand. It must be. Okay, for you to believe in it, because the moment that you wake up, you become Neo. Remember Neo in the Matrix? Remember when Neo, y'all got to go back and watch the Matrix, right? When he realized who he was, because Morpheus and all the other people, they knew the whole time that he was, quote unquote, the one. Okay, so in your story, you are Neo. Neo is a neophyte. What is a neophyte? Somebody who's new to a new reality. This reality is brand new to you. You're new. Okay, you have been renewed. When Neo first arrived in the Matrix, the first thing they did, or arrived out of the Matrix, woke up, the first thing they did was unplugged him from the Matrix. Remember, at the back of his skull, the base of his skull, there was a connection to that Matrix that I'm telling y'all that I could see. It was a cage comprised of time and space. He was unplugged from that. Okay, and this is what happens when you awaken. You get unplugged from that. You can see outside of that. Okay, you can see that it ain't even real. It's an illusion. And so you see that these agents that appear to be legions and appear to be more than one, it's really only one. And so that's the reason why I dissected the devil, because I need y'all to understand that, you know, this one is just one spirit trying to fight the spirit that's in you. It's not no whole bunch of different people, even though all your life it has appeared as different people. As your narcissistic parent, the narc teacher or boss that you had, the people that don't like you at school, the people are jealous of you, people who have attacked you for no reason, people that just don't like you. This is all the same spirit. There's not more than one. It's just one. And I need y'all to understand that, because then you condense it down to its real reality, to the clown that you really are. Okay. Instead of seeing it as this grand illusion. See, the illusion must be grand. You have to fool, you know, you got to put a grand illusion before the child of God to make him forget who he is, to make her forget her own power, her authority that she has over the thing that is trying to cause her to have fear. You must present a grand illusion. Okay. And that's why the illusion is so grand, but it is still an illusion. Okay. And so when you get unplugged from the Matrix, you begin to be able to see through the illusion. Okay. And so like I said, if you have not released, you know, things that, you know, you wanted to happen in a certain way, talking about what could have and should have been, it's time to do that now. Okay. So again, so this new vibe has room to grow inside you. That's over with. It's dead and gone. The Matrix that was holding that together has officially broken. Okay. It's not coming back. So if you was waiting on somebody to come back, they ain't coming back. Okay. I hate to say it like that. I hate for it to be so blunt, but you can meet a new version of them in this new earth that we're going to, if you let go of the old one. Okay. Because just like you were growing over this time and space, so were they. Let go. Okay. So that you can grow and create new pathways of new experiences for us to walk, new achievements to be had, new emotions to feel, and colors to see. New experiences to be had. You're not going to be able to have any of that unless you make room for it. You are filled to the brim with toxicity and darkness and devil energy. Let it go. Okay. It's connected to that matrix that, again, has officially broken. Okay. So if you've been thinking a lot about the past, if a lot of old memories have been coming up, this is because these are the old memories that were embedded in your mind, okay, that were keeping you stuck in the matrix, okay? They had literally become, because, you know, you can think about something so long and so much that it becomes a belief. It becomes real. It becomes true. So this is what was holding the physical matrix together, what we believe in our minds, and thinking about it over and over and over and over again, that cycle of hypnotic rhythm. Summer, winter, spring, fall. You think you're moving. You think something different is happening when it's not. It's a grand illusion. You've been stuck in place for a long time. Okay. And so this is why the ascension is so revered. This is why we've been waiting for the ascension. This is why we had a vision of heaven in our minds as something that was above us, because we were stuck. We were not moving as we should have been. Okay. And so as you begin to move out of that matrix, and as that matrix has broken, all of those memories and those beliefs that were stuck in your chakras because of you being part of that matrix, that stuff is now coming to the surface of your mind. Okay. To be evaluated and released if they no longer serve the new you, if you no longer wanted to be a part of you in the new earth. Okay. Because you are also being recreated. Okay. If they don't serve your purpose in the now, release it. Okay. And I guarantee you, a lot of the stuff that is coming up, it may have been things that you hadn't thought about in a long time, that you had forgotten about. Now you remember it, right? Let it go. And it won't ever have to come back. The reason why it's coming up is because it's been held down in those chakras, in your energy centers for that long. Okay, some things have been suppressed, like a lot of people who have been through trauma in their childhood, it was so traumatic that they completely forgot about it. And then this is why you have a lot of molestation victims coming back 30 years later now want to tell about what happened to them, because as a child they couldn't handle it. So they tucked that away somewhere in one of their energy centers and they forgot. And so then as they begin to awaken, as they begin to heal, then those memories rise to the surface. Okay. So I'm going to ask y'all not to push those back down. Okay. Bring it out. Think about it, cry about it, pray about it, and release it to the divine. Because a lot of what empaths always forget to do is to release. You by nature, you are a sponge for other people's energy, which is why empaths don't like crowds. You don't like going around, toxicity. You can't handle too much toxicity because you're literally absorbing other people's energy. This is because of your ability to heal. Okay. For me, when I heal with, when I do healing work with a lot of people, I literally take on some of the symptoms. Okay. And not saying that this is how everyone does it, but for me, I literally take on some of their, symptoms. Okay. But you have to know how to release that to the divine, or it will impair you. Okay. You're not supposed to absorb it like a sponge and just hold it. You take it, you're a conduit. You pass it through you. So when you absorb these energies, this is why, my daughter was just talking about, you always taking baths. Yeah, I love taking baths. That's mother. That's like mother's womb to me. It's cleansing, it's healing. You know what I'm saying? Hot water, some hot fragrant water. Okay, with whatever I wanted to add to it, that is the most healing thing that you can give me at any time. Okay, whenever I'm going through whatever, I will run myself a hot bath and make it smell good and look beautiful and feel like mother's womb. And I get into it and I heal myself. Okay, I get into it and I meditate. I get into it and I send healing to the people that I'm healing, the people that I'm working for, the people that I'm praying for. I do a lot in the water. Okay, because water is one of the strongest conduits of energy that you can use. Okay, and so it's time to release. So as an empath, always remember to release, because you're going to absorb. You can't help but absorb. But if you don't release, then it's going to weigh you down. You're going to feel like, this is my pain, this is my anxiety, this is my depression, this is my anger, and it's not yours. Okay, so learn how to go home and release. Learn how to sit on the ground and put your hands and feet on the ground, on the earth, and let Mother Earth absorb some of that energy from you. Go hug a tree, touch a tree. Okay, meditate, take a bath, do what you need to do to release that energy to the divine. It's not your stuff. Okay, but as an empath, you naturally take that on. And so learn and get into the habit of also releasing it so that you remain a clear channel. Okay, because some people will get to the point where you can't even be of any help to anyone because you're so clogged up with stuff that you have already absorbed and not released, that now you have been impaired. You have gotten lost in the sauce and you have forgotten who you are. You've forgotten what your power is. You've forgotten your authority. Okay, and so you have to cleanse yourself. Okay, this is why I sell so many cleansing products in my shop, because it's so important for you to stay clean. Okay, they say cleanliness is next to godliness. This is true. Okay, and so it's very important to stay, not just physically clean, but of course that physical cleanliness is a manifestation. Not always now, because again, you can look into the closet of a psychopath and they're going to look clean too, because it ain't nothing but the devil trying to mimic God. That's what they do. Okay, but that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, but again, release. Okay, whatever you need to release so that you can rise with the planet. You have to be light. Your heart has to be light as a feather, and half of the stuff that you're holding on to is not even your stuff. Okay, so when you know those old things, they have to be released so that the truth of these new dimensions of love that we're moving into now are dimensions that you've never experienced before. They're dimensions of love that are greater than any level of love that you've ever had before, that any physical being has ever experienced. Yes, that's what we're ascending into, higher and higher realms of love and light. Okay, and so this is experienced as, you know, and you're going to experience this again as a physical being in your physical being. So you're not going to have to ascend away from your physical body to experience this, but you're going to have this experience while you are physical. Okay, so it's a great honor to even be alive at this time, even though it may not feel like it, because we are in, like I said, a spiritual war is in full swing right now. But I already have seen the end. I know that time doesn't exist. Okay. And so the war that's happening is happening within time. But when you've already seen the end, you know what I'm saying, then the illusion doesn't matter. It's like watching a movie and you already know, it's a movie the whole time that you're watching it. So nothing that you see in it is real to you, not as real as the reality that you're living in. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it becomes like for you when you realize that, you know what I'm saying, the reality that you've been in, it ain't even real. It's an illusion. All of the ascended masters spoke of it being an illusion. You know what I'm saying? And so now that's what you wake up to when you in this great awakening, is the fact that this has been a grand illusion. Okay, and now it's beginning to break apart. Okay, so the beliefs that you had that were connected to that illusion, they must be released in order for you to move into truth. Okay, the illusion that you were stuck in was comprised of lies and darkness. So you're moving into truth, greater light. Okay, a light that's going to illuminate everything to where you can't lie. You cannot lie. You cannot hide. Okay, ain't nothing. The truth will be right there plain for you to see. Okay, and so again, this is a greater level of truth than any that we've ever experienced. And so people who hate the truth, those are the ones who are panicking and going crazy and blowing things up right now. Okay. So, this was all written of. Okay. But again, it's a great honor to even be alive right now, even though there is a war going on. Okay. Those of you who choose at this time, just know that every dimension of love that is possible to experience is open for you to access at this time. It's available for you to embody and experience. Okay, because as we consciously embody our souls, okay, with full awareness of that, we are doing this. You give yourself access to every dimension of love that your soul has experienced as a whole. Okay, many of us are old souls. We've lived many lifetimes. Okay, we've been rich and poor in every other level of experience. We've experienced everything. Okay, and so again, when you consciously embody the full awareness of who you are, you begin to remember. And remember what I told you. Remember is to put back together, and that's what's happening with this great awakening. This great remembering is that we're putting back together the God puzzle, the parts of the body of God. Okay. And so if you're a light worker, if you filled with light, then you're a part of the body of God. Okay. And you know it. So you know what I'm saying? You've had dreams, you get downloads, you might not call it downloads. You know what I'm saying? You get messages, you get visions, you have gifts. Okay. And so you know that you're different. You know that you don't even belong here. Okay. And so it's time to fully begin to embody who you really are. And that means letting go of who you're not. Okay. And so when you begin to embody all the dimensions of love that your soul has experienced as a whole, it's meaning that you are connected to love in every form. Okay. And so you who hold and work the light are literally love incarnate on earth right now. Okay. You always have been. But as you awaken to that, it becomes your experience. Okay. This is manifesting right now as heightened waves of love consciousness. Okay. In the form of these quote unquote downloads that we all are getting right now. That's what this love is manifesting as. It's coming in as these heightened waves of love consciousness. Okay. In the form of downloads, new understandings of ancient wisdoms. It's stuff that we've always known. It's always been here, but now we have a deeper understanding of it. The downloads feel as if we are plugging into the source and being continually recharged with, you know what I'm saying, with the vibes of love. Okay, so it's plugging back into God, letting God fill you back up. Okay, so it's like, plug into God. Let me, ask God to take all of the pain and everything that you have filtered out of the world as a light worker. Okay, and you ask whoever, whatever name that you call God by, because hallowed is the name. Okay, God is called by many names. Hallowed is holy. As long as the name is holy, as long as the name implies reverence. Okay, for a compassionate creator. Okay, as long as the name is hallowed. So we're not going to fight about names and different things like that, because those are distractions. You plug into the source, you recharge, and then you come back and you give more love to the world, because everybody doesn't have the ability to do this. This is what you awaken to when you realize some people are empty. They don't have that light inside of them. This is what a light worker is doing. You're literally bringing in the energy of heaven, love, light into this world through your physical body, into this world where it's darkness, where there are godless people. And yes, there are those who are going to fight you, who don't want to see this light, who want to still have darkness to hide in, who don't like the fact that you see through their mask, who don't like the fact that you know that there's only one of you and you smaller than me. Okay, it ain't no whole bunch of you. Okay, I'm not outnumbered. Okay, they don't like the fact that you know that he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. That is the truth. Okay, and if you hold that in your mind, then there's nothing that can stand against you. This new era of love and light is bringing in a vibration of freedom from all of that. Okay, the matrix has officially been broken. And so that is causing the completion of the end of the old cycles of the way that ascension happened before. Jesus, for example, the cycle of being crucified, resurrected, and then ascending. That's how everybody has had to ascend, because of that pattern that was created. And that's y'all don't know. Like I said, y'all think y'all been moving because of, they tell you that days are passing, minutes are passing, years and seasons are passing. Ain't nothing passing. Okay, y'all have been stuck in a loop of hypnotic rhythm for a long time. Okay, and so awakening is now beginning to move again. Okay, and so again, it's bringing in this vibration of freedom instead of being stuck. Okay, which is causing the completion of that old cycle of crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension. All of humanity is going through this cycle. Okay, we're doing it individually and together. Okay, now so that this whole cycle can come to a close, and the whole experience of ascension, okay, that humans have will be a different experience. Okay, it won't need to happen in that way. It won't have to be a crucifixion, a resurrection, and then an ascension, but it will happen in a different way. So that's why we all right now at this time, the Great Awakening is when we all kind of go through that cycle. Okay, for one final cycle of crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension. So we close out that old way of ascending. Okay, so that now a human being, because we have all done this, and that's why Jesus and any ascended master, that's why they did it, so that now it won't require a crucifixion for you to be resurrected or for you to ascend. So the final cycle of crucifixion is being experienced as the releasing and letting go of all of those things we just talked about, anyone or anything that prevents your expansion and your embodiment of your divinity. Okay, this is felt within your emotional body as a form of death. Okay, I told y'all, I talked about it before, right before I went through, my spiritual awakening, right before I got ghosted, I saw Santa Muerte at my ancestor altar, La Santísima Muerte. And I'm like, it really, I knew who she was, but I didn't know why are you at my ancestor altar? So this is what made me really begin to really delve into who I am, my truth, who I am, who is your bloodline, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Who are you in this game? Right. And so right before I went through my quote unquote holy death, I did see La Santísima Muerte at my altar, my ancestor altar. Okay. And it was because I was getting ready to go through that holy death. Okay. And that holy death is, again, where you are crucified in some form. Something hurt you so bad it took you out. And then God came and brought you back. It's just same thing. It's the same story of what of Jesus. Okay. Crucifixion, resurrection, ascension. Okay. It's the same story. So however it happened to you in your life, it happened, right? You got crucified, in your emotional body, psychologically, the crucifixion of the ego. The holy death is a crucifixion of the ego self, of your old self, so that you can allow the rising of a new soul within your being. Okay, so it's a death, but when you don't fear death, because when I saw Santa Muerte at my ancestor altar, she felt like mother. She wasn't, she looked like how she looked. You know what I'm saying? Like a skeleton wearing, the people who are afraid and don't have spiritual eyes and understanding, they call it, it looked like the Grim Reaper, but she didn't feel like that. See, you're supposed to not be leaning on your own understanding, because you don't understand anything. And this is what happens when I was talking earlier about people's, when you get an increase of knowledge or spiritual wisdom, there is still the danger of your ego taking possession of that and thinking that you know something. Okay. The person who is really wise, they understand that I really don't understand anything. I don't know anything. So let me not freeze anything into my mind as a hardcore belief, because at any moment that can change. Okay, because so there are limitless realities that exist that overlap and overlay one another, and it's all contingent upon the way that you're moving your energy around and the way that you're exercising your power or not. So Santa Muerte, when she came, she felt like mama. She was very protective, motherly. She felt like she was protecting me and loving me. And so why would you be afraid of that? Now, the only way somebody would be afraid of that is if they looking with their eyes. I saw her with my heart because I'm an empath. Okay. So I didn't see the vision, okay, of looking at it. Okay. I did, but I felt her. This is how I connect with people. I feel other people's energy. This is how I know who you are, not by how you look. So this is why looks don't deceive an empath. And that's why people who like to deceive people with their looks, they don't like empaths, because your mask don't work for me. Okay. And they know this. And so they don't want to be around you because they know you see the truth. Okay. And so, yeah, she looks like a skeleton wearing just like how they make her look. She looked like that. But she felt like mama. Like I'm not going to let anyone hurt you. I'm not ever going to, I'm here to protect you. I'm going to provide you with everything you need. You are absolutely safe. That's what her spirit said to me. Okay. And so, the fact that I had to bring this up because I know that there's a lot of people who work with a lot of different deities, and, for me, at the end of the day, I serve the Most High. There are a lot of different deities and there are a lot of different gods and goddesses that you can choose to work with in this reality. But when you're ready to ascend, you want to work for the Most High, which is very significant because in my dream, remember, I was at work. Remember? And the boss was the one who was possessing the people, because at that time I was working for the devil. Okay, y'all better wake up. Because when you would, like I said, these people was possessed and did not know it. So it ain't like if you're possessed, you're going to know it. You don't know that you are working for the devil. The only way you know you're not working for the devil is if you choose and state the fact that I work for the Most High. Okay. Any other deity. Okay. Because the devil can mimic any other deity. He cannot mimic God, though. You know what I'm saying? He can't, because see, God comes as the energy of love, and that's what the devil don't have. Okay, you know this if you've dealt with an arc. They can't mimic that. They can't make you feel that. They don't have it. They're empty. Okay, and so It's not about looking at things with your eyes, because the devil will put up some beautiful, grand illusions for you. Okay? Them devils be fine as hell. Okay? Or beautiful to look at. Okay? But you can only look at something for so long. I mean, what is that really doing for you? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's how you get drawn in by the illusion of something. Just because something looks good don't mean that it is good. Most of the time it's not. Okay, that's why it looks so good. That's why the illusion must be so grand. Okay, so for some people, this holy death that you're going through, and that a lot of us already have gone through, it may feel like a punishment to some people because of the pain that it causes. I have gone to levels of pain that I didn't even think a human being could live through. And yes, at times it felt like a punishment. I felt forsaken, just like Jesus felt on the cross, or any other whatever ascended master that you believe went through whatever they went through. They done went through something too. Okay, because it feels like a punishment, but it's actually part of your healing process. It's what's needed in order for you to return from that state of fear, from the devil's world, from that creation, from that matrix, back to love. Okay, so you just moving back through the valley of the shadow of death just to get back to where you came from the illusion of separation from God and one another, back to the truth of oneness and unity consciousness. I said what I said. So the crucifixion is in process. What it is a process of dissolving any attachments you have. Just like I was talking about when we were rising off of the earth, people were still on it. They couldn't get off because they were attached. They were attached to their physical body. They thought they were so beautiful. They lived in that body. They thought that body was themselves. They identified with the body as the self. So they couldn't detach from it. So they were stuck to the earth. They loved their things, their motorcycles, their cars, their houses, their things. All of those things are part of the earthly matrix. And if you are attached to it, then you will be attached to this earth when we begin to ascend from it. Okay. And so that's what was happening when I saw those people burning. Okay. They had not dissolved those attachments. This is why a lot of us have been forced to let go, okay, of things in the physical. Anybody or anything that you love, what you love about that person is their spirit, not their body. So if you have had to let go of someone in the physical, understand that the part of them that you love does not die. It is life itself. There will be a reunion. There will be a remembering, a coming back together in the spirit. Okay. But it is important to dissolve attachments in the physical. Love is not an attachment. And if what you call love is born of any form of quote unquote need, it is not the love of the creator. That's what you call codependency. That is the devil's version, okay, of love. That I told you, the devil tries to copy everything that God does. Okay. So you will see, the gods. Well, I ain't even finna go into that, but I'm just gonna say that the devil has his version of everything that God does. Okay. He even tried to make his own people. Y'all done seen some of these man-made people out here. Okay. So, yeah, people try to, he tries to do everything. Grandmaster Fee, most definitely, babe. Keep in touch. I think I emailed you the other day. Yes, Santa Muerte is righteous. Yes, honey, work. And Michael taught me directly, but I've also been told I'm not going to talk too much about that on this platform anymore. But if you are part of my No Narc network, then I will continue to tell you my stories about Michael, because Michael has been a direct teacher of mine. Okay, manifested for me physically in order to teach me and to show me. And I was even shown some deeper reasons why that happened. Like it's dope. But yeah. So anyway, yes. So this is, at the time, I didn't know that. I've been working with Michael for a long time, but I did not know at the time, that Santa Muerte and Michael worked together like that. She had never manifested herself like that, for me. but she knew that I was getting what was getting ready to happen, that I was getting ready to go on it, go through this holy death. And so she was here to let me know that, you're not about to be alone through this. And so, like I said, I got ghosted, but I didn't get ghosted like most people, because my spirits was on point. Like, his plan was for me to wake up and him to be gone, but my spirits woke me up in the middle of him trying to work out his plan. So I woke up while he was trying to pack, and my spirit said, don't say nothing, just watch. He didn't know I was awake. He thought I was asleep very early in the morning. He thought I was asleep. I just sat there and watched him, because they wanted me to see, because for some reason, I guess that veil that I had was not allowing me to see how godless this person was. And I was projecting my own goodness onto this person. Okay, but the crucifixion that y'all are going through is the process of dissolving attachments to anything physical that might keep you weighed down. And like I said, if you think you love something and that need is attached to it, that's not love, that's codependency. Okay, so it's attachment. Okay, and for those who willingly let go of these attachments, that quote unquote crucifixion process, it's not even going to hurt as bad. It won't be as painful as it is for those who are unwilling to release and let go and accept freedom as well as offer freedom, meaning you accepting your freedom from feeling like you stuck and attached to something, and you're also offering somebody freedom that you're trying to hold in bondage to be attached to you in some sort of way. Freedom is the energy that the whole entire planet is moving into. Okay, and so we don't need those energies anymore of attachment. And so that's why that crucifixion process feels like the process of releasing attachments to these unneeded energies. Okay, these energies weigh you down and delay the process of healing and ascension, whether you know it or not. Okay, and so the way that we react to what the things that are happening around us in our reality, it's completely your own decision. It's a choice. Okay, only a narcissist believes that their actions and their reactions are due to someone else's choices. Okay, if you own your own, you take ownership of your own reality, then understand that your mind is what's creating your reality. Okay, so focus on being as loving as possible during this time, to yourself and to other people. Okay, that's what's needed. It should be obvious, but it's not, because this world doesn't know love. They speak of that in all of the religious and spiritual texts that speak the truth. This world really does not know what love is. They see it as something that makes you weak, that makes you vulnerable. They see it as something that they don't need. Okay, you live in a world that sees your third eye as quote unquote junk DNA, because theirs don't work. I mean, what kind of God would build something that has junk in it? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got to really turn on your intuition at this time. Okay. And be as loving to yourself and to other people as you can during this process. Okay. Because being loving during this time will accelerate your ascension process exponentially. That's what it's all about. Okay, the final cycle of crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension is being experienced in mass. Okay, so that this cycle can be completed. Okay, the completion of this process of ascension through pain, so that ascension will not have to happen through pain anymore. Okay, allowing us now to continually and continue the process of resurrection and ascension on earth without having to go through pain in order to do it. Okay, so everyone experiences this completion in a very personal way, but also in divine timing. So, some of us have been going through it recently. We've gone through it now. Some of us have gone through it very publicly. Okay, but the best thing that you can do for yourself at this time is to consciously let go of any thoughts or any emotions that are not expressions of the truth of who you know that you really are in your soul, the truth of your soul. Okay, if it's not an expression of the love of God, which is where you came from, let it go. Let go of unforgiveness, of anger, of, what I'm saying, just any grudges or anything that you may have, connections that you have to people. Last week I had a dream, and it was a mixture. It was the weirdest dream. It was like a mixture of like, it was all the people, and I know what it was. I was being shown the unraveling of all these attachments that I had to people due to the fact that I don't like them, or they don't like me, or there was something unresolved, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This was all these attachments. I was being shown where mine were being unraveled. Okay, but it came out as a dream of me dreaming about all of these people. You know what I'm saying? That, like I said, I have some sort of attachment to, as far as you know, something that's unresolved, basically. The staple singers, this is a perfect world, so stop trying to make it what it's not. Exactly. And so we just got to open our eyes. Like I said, the dream that I had about the veil, I was like, damn, so that's what the veil means. Like, there's a level of evil here that I didn't know nothing about until I was, damn near 50 years old. Because I had been protected from it for all those years. Okay. I came here with the purpose, and I wouldn't have been able to fulfill my purpose had I been damaged that greatly at that young of an age. I needed to be veiled for, some of us, it's like basically you're being hidden from the devil for a long time. He's not allowed to touch you for a long time. Okay. Until you're strong enough, until you're ready. Because you had to, you know what I'm saying? It had something, it was connected to your purpose, your calling. Okay. Does it make you better than anybody else? Just different. Okay. But when you release all of these thoughts and thought forms and negative feelings from your being, then they will stop manifesting in your reality as negative experiences. Okay. When you release it from your mind, when you release it out of your heart, and that's why it's so important to release it, because then your world will change. You won't see this negativity appearing as thought forms in your reality. They'll stop manifesting in your reality, because your mind is the one that's creating it. When you wake up to the fact that the quote unquote devil does not have any power, but he knows that you're unaware of your power. And so he has found a way to take your power and use it for his purpose. Your mind is constantly creating. But if you don't know it's creating, then let me place in there what I want to put in there. Nature Boy said it. Okay. He's possessed with that narc demon. He said it in one of my last videos, Escape from Narc Island. He was like, if you're going to be working for somebody else, then let me take your energy and use it for me. That's how the devil thinks. Okay, if you're not using your own energy to manifest what you want in your life, and your mind is sitting idle, the devil's definitely gonna play in it. Okay, and you don't even know it. A lot of people are possessed and do not know it. This is why Jesus asked to forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Okay, but I'm trying to make it so that you do know, so that you awaken, so that you consciously change your reality by simply changing your mind. All of the issues of life flow from our heart center, and they are created by our minds. Okay. So if you guard and discipline your heart and mind, okay, then the world around you will be as it should be. Okay. It's all about disciplining and guarding the heart and mind, because this is where your very reality is flowing from. You are creating it. Okay. So if you clear it out, if you cleanse it, if you discipline it, then your world will be as it should be. The heaven that you imagine, okay, to be at a distance will literally become your reality. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's what's happening, my people. Okay, and with that, I think I've said enough. It's 7:10. I'm going to try to come back later. I am going to do a NARC talk session in the No Narc Network, probably around 10 o'clock. And then I'll probably go back live on the House of Ajay to do a waking hour release. Okay. So yes, I am still producing. I'm only producing one audio book, which it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I love it. I love what I do, but it is a lot. It's tedious work. And so you have to love what you're doing. And so that's basically where I've been doing some other work and working on some other projects. But again, the people that I am doing work for, I have been in touch with you guys. Okay. And so y'all know what it is. And for the people in my private group, you will have access to me. And once again, if I don't have your shipping information, get that to me, because I do, I am ready to ship out your No Narc Network mugs. Okay. And with that, you all, I'm going to bid you all peace, love, and abundant blessings. Thank you all for sharing this time and space with me. We have been listening to 777 hertz. This is healing, spiritual healing music, okay, that connects you with your higher self. Peace. I did not. You know why? Because I got another package from someone else too. D Little, I'm gonna go pick that up tomorrow. I didn't get to go by the post office, but I will go pick that up tomorrow, because I got some other stuff in there waiting too for with some other people that I have been waiting for something from. So, but we will connect either tonight or sometime tomorrow. Okay, so we will talk face to face, or if you're going to be in the Narc Talk session tonight in the No Narc Network. Okay, and I will pre-schedule that so you guys will know what time that's going to be. Anyone that's interested in joining the private No Narc Network, and welcome to the new people who have joined. Anyone who is interested in joining, the link will be in the description box. If you need anything, anything that you need to know about me, all of the links are in the description box. Okay, so I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Yes, ma'am, on Patreon.